Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about an idea that I think Leatherman should explore, and I would love to see the Leatherman garage maybe tinker around with something like this. So here on the table I have two different models. One is the Leatherman Juice S2 and the other one is the Leatherman Squirt ES4. Now the Juice is not a tool that I've ever carried. I carry the KF4 once in a while, but the S2 is not. It just most of the time I need a more robust multi-tool, and so most of the time I'm carrying my standard EDC, which is the Leatherman Surge. On rare occasions, I'll carry the KF4. On even rare occasions than that, I'll carry one of the Charge models. But most of the time, and probably by most, I mean about 98% of the time, I have the Leatherman Surge on me. But I have carried the ES4 a lot. In fact, this one I've had for a number of different years, and the ES4, both of these models are now discontinued. Now this is great because it has a little wire stripping tool on it. So this is actually one of my favorite all-time Leatherman multi-tools. I actually have a brand new one of these in a blue. So at some point, if this ever completely fails on me, then I have a backup for it. So I like this multi-tool quite a little bit. So I always thought, though, if you'll notice that this one only goes to 12 gauge, and a lot of the stuff that I work on is going to be in industrial motor applications, and so I always needed something that went just a little bit higher into 10 gauge. For smaller electronics, you can get away with using the ES4. It does stripping capability down to 20 gauge and up to 12 gauge, so pretty decent range for such a small tool. Now, what I've always thought, though, is that if they were to take this head and put it into this tool to make it a little bit longer of a tool, but then they would be able to increase the capacity. So then they could probably add in 22 gauge and 10 gauge into this in a more elongated wire stripper with an even longer cutting surface for the wire cutters themselves. Combine that in this tool. My personal preference would be a knife blade on one side and the diamond file on the other. That would be my personal preference, because I think those two tools on the outside accessible tools would combine well with this type of tool. Now, because or using this type of tool like this, it would get thinner in profile, so you would lose probably one of the interior screwdrivers on this side, and you would have to contend with losing the lanyard. You may even have to drop down to a two-dimensional or a flattened Phillips driver on the other side in order to accommodate a tool like that, because you'll notice with the ES4 they don't even have any interior tools, because the profile of this in comparison, you can see the thickness difference. It just doesn't allow for you to get much in there. They may be able to broaden these out a little bit so that you could still make it the same profile or the same depth or thickness of the regular S2 juice pliers, but put it into this type of format, and you would still be able to keep those interior screwdrivers. But I think that would bode well for this. I really like the idea of a diamond file and a knife blade on here, combined with a much more capable set of wire strippers, and then put a pocket clip on it. And this is a tool that I would carry at work for sure. I do that much electrical work, especially on repair stuff. Now, I have a plethora of good electrical tools, but to be able to have something that I can take with me on smaller repair jobs would be pretty invaluable. This is one of my ideas. I doubt this one will ever come to fruition, but it would be nice to see Leatherman try some out-of-the-box thinking on their Leatherman garage, because it was my understanding that that's what the Leatherman garage was supposed to be about, to really test the waters of what was possible in the world of multi-tools, and I think this could be a very good start. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one.